Hello, everyone. Today we are going to learn about fractions. A fraction represents a part of a whole. It is written in the form of frac AB, where A is the numerator, which tells us how many parts we have. B is the denominator, which tells us how many equal parts the whole is divided into. Let's take an example. For instance, frac 3/4 means 3 parts out of a total of 4 equal parts. To visualize this, imagine a pizza sliced into 4 equal parts. If you have 3 of those slices, that's frac 3/4. Now let's talk about the different types of fractions. 1. Proper fractions. The numerator is smaller than the denominator. For example, frac 3/4. Pause. 2. Improper fractions. The numerator is greater than or equal to the denominator. For example, frac 5/4. Mixed fractions. A whole number combined with a proper fraction. For example, 1 frac 1, 4. Now let's move on to adding fractions. To add fractions, the denominators must be the same. If the denominators are different, we need to find a common denominator. Let's take the example frac 2/5 plus frac 3/5. Since the denominators are already the same, we can simply add the numerators. Frac 2/3/5 plus equals frac 2 plus 3/5 frac 5 equals 1. So the result is star 1. Next, let's talk about subtracting fractions. To subtract fractions, the denominators must also be the same. If they're not, we'll need to find a common denominator first. Let's look at the example frac 7/10 I 3/10. Since the denominators are the same, we subtract the numerators. Frac 7/10 minus 3 7 by 10 equals frac 4/10. Now simplify frac 4/10 by dividing both the numerator and denominator by 2. Frac 4/10, frac 4 of 2 div 2 equals frac 2/5. So the result is frac 2/5. Now, let's move on to multiplying fractions. To multiply fractions, we simply multiply the numerators and the denominators. Let's look at the example. Frac 2/3 times frac 3/4. Frac 2/3 times frac 3 frac 2 times 3 times 4 equal frac 6/12. Now simplify frac 6/12. Since both the numerator and denominator are divisible by 6, we divide them both by 6. Frac 6/12's frac 6 div 6, frac 1/2. So the result is frac 1/2. Let's now talk about dividing fractions. To divide fractions, we multiply by the reciprocal. This means we flip the second fraction and multiply. Let's take the example frac 5/1/2. First, flip the second fraction to get frac 2/1 and multiply. Frac 5/6 equals frac 5/6 times frac 2/5 times 2/6 times 1 equals frac 10/6. Now, simplify 10/6 by dividing both the numerator and denominator by 2. Frac 10/6 equals frac 10 div 2 frac 5/3. So the result is frac 5/3. Finally, let's talk about simplifying fractions. To simplify fractions, divide both the numerator and the denominator by their greatest common divisor GCD. Let's look at the example frac 12/16. The GCD of 12 and 16 is 4, so we divide both the numerator and denominator by 4. Frac 12 div 4 equals frac 3/4. So the simplified fraction is frac 3/4. And that's the basics of working with fractions. Whether you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, or simplifying fractions, these are the key concepts you need to understand. I hope this helps you understand fractions better. Keep practicing, and soon you'll be a pro at handling fractions.